My name's Claire. I'm a homeschooling mum in Tasmania, Australia. I have 3 children. My eldest boy, 8 years old, is Ronan. We have Amy, who will be 7 this month. I'm recording this in November 2015. And my youngest is Gwyn, and he will be 4 in January. I am hoping tomorrow to do a day in the life of our Form 1 homeschool. So I thought I would introduce us and give you a bit of an idea of how our day is supposed to flow tonight, and then that way tomorrow we'll find out how we go, whether we actually stick with that or not, how closely reality reflects the plan. So I'll let you know I have Ronan and Amy in the same year of AmblesideOnline. They are about 8 or 9 weeks into year 2, term 1 at this time. And so the way that tomorrow is supposed to go, the way that our day is supposed to flow is we'll start off before breakfast, we'll do our singing. We'll practice some hymns and folk songs and Dutch songs that we have learned, the ones we're working on now and a couple of older ones as well. We'll follow that with breakfast, and over breakfast I'll read the Bible to them and they will narrate that back to me. We don't follow AmblesideOnline's schedule for Bible. We just work our way through a book, about half a chapter maybe each day, give or take. And both singing and Bible are things that we do every day or nearly every day, whether it's a school day or not, whether it's a school week or not. We just do that as part of our daily routine. After breakfast we'll do our chores, and after our chores, our new thing that we're trialling this week is Amy and Ronan sit down with their maths straight away and their maths worksheet page, and I sit down with Gwyn, with the 3-year-old, and just spend some time with him, maybe read to him, all that sort of thing, to try and fill up his cup a bit before the school day starts, because he's been acting up and feeling a bit left out lately. So I'm hoping that that'll get our school day off to a bit more of a start than it has been, and that he'll be able to cope better. So after that we have our morning snack. If we get our chores done quickly enough, we'll have hot chocolates with our morning snack, but if we haven't finished those chores by the appropriate time, which is 9:45, then we'll have our snack, but we won't have our hot chocolates with it. So that's our incentive to get our chores done quickly enough. Over our mid-morning snack, we write in our nature journal anything that any of us have noticed. So just a family nature journal where we just write down anything that we've noticed in the last day or two in the garden or around the traps. And then we will either listen, or tomorrow we will watch a Dutch TV show on YouTube, just a kids show, 5 minutes. We alternate either watching a Dutch show of some kind or listening to the listening CD that comes with our piano program. So tomorrow we're up to watching a Dutch show. After that, we get into the rest of our school day. So first we will start off with the first of our AmblesideOnline readings. We aim to do 3 read and narrate 3 readings per day. So we'll do one of those, then we'll do a bit of Dutch practice. We'll have the kids also need to work on their maths, their piano practice, their copy work, and I have in that list of our memory work, poems and Bible memory and things like that. And I have in that list as well space for 2 or 3 extras or things from my Riches loop. That is not strictly all Ambleside Online or Charlotte Mason type stuff, I've got in that loop things that I just want to make sure we do maybe twice a week, maybe once a week. I've got them in different intervals so that they happen with whichever frequency I want. So that includes things like picture study, drawing lesson, piano lessons, which we use the online piano lessons on Hoffman Academy. We like to play a game in Dutch once or twice a week. I like to sit down with both of them and do some maths together, something a bit fun about once a week. We write a letter to one of their pen pals about once a week. So not all of them, as I said, are necessarily Ambleside Online things, but they're all things that are important to me to have in the schedule somewhere so that they actually happen. And then, so hopefully, if all goes well, we get through all of that stuff, or most of that stuff before lunch. We have our main meal at lunchtime, so I have to also actually be cooking lunch around some of that stuff as well. Sometimes that slows us down if the kids aren't being focused without me right there with them. So it just depends on the day how things go time-wise. Then over lunch, we alternate two things. Tomorrow we'll be listening to our composer, who is Beethoven this term. We don't follow the Ambleside Online rotation for Beethoven for composer study either at the moment. So we're doing Beethoven at the moment. So we're listening to his Fifth Symphony at the moment, and we'll listen to that tomorrow or some of it. And then the other thing we alternate with at lunchtimes is that I will read a chapter or so of a free read on the other lunchtime. So after lunch and after we've finished up whichever bits of schoolwork we haven't done yet, it's free time. Tomorrow the kids also have a swimming lesson, so that's later in the afternoon. We'll come home and eat, and then after tea, the kids have a bit more free time, but also we read a bit more of a free read, one of the read alouds we've got going, and that's when I read poetry at bedtime as well. So I hope that gives you a bit of an idea of what to expect tomorrow, and it'll be interesting to see how we actually go with it. Good morning. It's about 7:45. I've had my quiet time and done some stretches, and now it's time for us to do our singing.
These 4 boots.
Good morning, kids. Let's do our singing now. Sinterklaas, goed heilig man. Sinterklaas, goed heilig man. Trek je beste tappet aan. Rijd ermee naar Amsterdam, van Amsterdam naar Spanje. Appeltjes van oranje, prankjes van de bomen. We try to danger and strength to strength oppose. Stand up for Jesus. Stand in his power alone, for human might may fail you. Beaches flowing beneath that sunny sky, where my mommy and daddy are waiting for me, and the pals of my childhood once more shall I see, and no more will I roam when we're heading straight for home along the road to come. Alright, so Barbara Allen. In Scarlet Town, where I was born, there was a fair maid dwelling, and every youth cried well away, for her name was Barbara Allen. 'Twas in the merry month of May, where green buds were a-swelling, sweet William on his deathbed lay, for the love of Barbara Allen. He said, "Sir, never I'll die for him tomorrow. Okay, time for our Bible reading. What do you guys remember from yesterday? Not sure? So we had Balaam's warning.
Oh yes, we had Balaam's warning.
And his prophecy that all these other nations were going to end.
And then he started for home.
Yeah. While the Israelites were camped at Acacia, some of the men had sex with Moabite women. These women then invited the men to ceremonies where sacrifices were offered to their gods. The men ate the meat from the sacrifices and worshipped the Moabite gods.
Skip the narration.
Which books are we going to read? It was not long before he had met a very worried-looking farmer Fields. "Good morning," said Mr. Strong. "What's the matter?" "It's my sheep," said Farmer Fields. "They're stuck in the meadow, surrounded by water. I
I was
can't."
confused if it was 80 or 8.
Okay.
40 divided by 30.
Well, we'll work on that in a minute. Okay, is there anything we are going to write down in our net journal today?
No.
What about this morning, what we saw? The kitchen sink.
Oh yeah, there was a big black spider on the
window.
on the bottom. It was big. No. We were seeing its. We were seeing its bottom, and then we saw its top, and it was completely black.
On the window.
Yes. I saw a little bit of white on it, just a little teensy bit.
Where was that?
On the abdomen. No, it's not a white tail. It's definitely not a white tail. It's far too big to be a white
I
tail.
think it is.
And there was too little white. There wasn't enough white on it to be a white tail.
Some white tails actually have no white, but I agree that it was too big to be a white tail. No, Gwen. "Not by that way today, my lord," said Osmond, as Richard was about to enter the great hall. "It is crowded with the French who have been sleeping there all night. Come to the postern." Osmond turned, as he spoke, along the passage, walking fast, and not sorry that Richard was lingering a little, as it was safer for him to be first. The postern was, as he expected, guarded by 2 tall steel-cased figures, who immediately held their lances across the doorway, saying, "None passes without warrant." "You will surely let us out of the castle, attend to our daily business," said Osmond. "You will hardly break your fast this morning if you stop all communication with the town." "You must bring warrant," repeated one of the men-at-arms. Osmond was beginning to say that he was the son of the seneschal of the castle, when Richard came hastily up. "What, do these men want to stop us?" he exclaimed in the imperious manner he had begun to take up since his accession. "Let us go on."
Said it that he was and then they tried to go through the door.
Amy put it down.
But they wouldn't. The two Franks wouldn't let them.
Okay, Amy, your turn.
So they tried to go past, but they couldn't. They wouldn't let them.
Put it down, Amy. And?
And they caught the Duke when he tried to go past. So Osmond had to help him out of that group. Then they went back to the stairs. They went up.
Yep, Ronan.
Into a chamber. And Richard was surprised to find that Dame Astrida was in there. And then they heard footsteps. And they told Osmond to guard the stair. To guard the stair that was only one person wide.
Yep.
So Osmond went onto the third step. It would have been. Then two Normans went onto the two steps above him.
Right.
And then a Frank bumped into Osmond and said, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "My duty, I am here to guard this stair." General behind the king.
Ja. Je hebt gezien in generaal.
Een groot generaal.
Een groen generaal.
Ja,
Okay.
de one groot.
De groen generaal.
De generaal dat went
Juist,
naar
Queen.
de westen.
Niemand aan het hoofd had ooit ijs gezien. So we're now running a little bit late, and we're going to be playing hide and seek in Dutch now, Verstoppertje, and then we'll see what our next thing is on.
I am standing in my shoes in the middle of the street. Only what is on my feet is what I have to my name. Do you wonder why I came? I can smell a sudden
We finished our game of Verstoppertje, and I had to put the camera on to charge for a few minutes, and while we did that, we wrote a letter to a pen pal of Amy's, and she is now drawing a picture on the back of that letter while we are going to have our next AmblesideOnline reading, which is from Child's History of the World. This will be about a 20-minute reading, including our narration. Nights and Days of Chivalry.
Chivalry?
Chivalry.
It's cavalry. I'm pretty sure it says cavalry. It's chivalry, okay?
This says chivalry and this is correct, okay?
Let's check the 61, correct.
I need words. Come on. Right. Now what's it doing? Those years in history, which I have been telling you about. So what did we hear about in our last reading?
Real castles.
Ah, you're looking at the thing. What did we learn about real castles and the way people lived?
The people lived very. The lord of the castle would make people do his work instead of doing it himself.
Those years in history which I have been telling you about are known as the days of chivalry, which means the times of ladies and gentlemen. The lord and his family were the gentlemen and the ladies. All the other people, by far the greater number, were just common people. So we've got Stop it, Gwen! Call Mama and Grandpa and tell them what we read about. So we'll email them. Gwen, first we need to narrate. Okay, who's ready? Let go of it,
yes.
Ronan. Ronan's ready.
I am.
You are. Okay, heads. Ronan, go first. So, tell me what you want me to write. Go.
I want you to write. Dear Mum and Grandpa.
Yep.
We have just read Charles' History of the World, chapter 51.
Yes. I'll fix the spelling later. Keep going.
And it's called It's the Mothman.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Joseph Hoffman. Today we are learning another finger power exercise. We're going to learn how to do the G major into F sharp for it to sound major. But there's two positions.
It's gonna sound cool.
Now we're going to try to play chocolate. Ready, go.
That actually sounds cool.
Now let's try with our left hand.
6/8, say again.
6/8 is the same as 3/4.
Okay, right.
3/7 isn't the same as anyone's shown.
Okay. What else can you say?
Disguised himself as and he did that. Darth Vader is sitting alone like this. And she's like, Father, what's up? He's really alone. I just can't. Chopper turned him to be a battle droid. Roger, Roger! Roger, Roger! Roger, Roger! This is the battle droid.
And then my camera battery died, so we had to stop filming at that point. There were a few more things to do after lunch, including our third AO reading, which was another 10 or 15 minute one. And I think one of the kids still had some maths to do and a couple of things like that, but then we finished off pretty reasonably in time, and they got some free time before we had to go to their swimming lesson. So that was our day that day. Things have already changed since then. In the next 6 weeks or so of our schooling, we changed around our schedule a little bit more, so it's always a constant tweaking, I find. I'm going to write a blog post to go with this video, which will explain about how I actually plan the day in terms of the which riches we're doing from our loop and things like that. But this is the end of the video, so thank you for watching. I hope it's been useful. It's turned out to be quite long, so I hope it wasn't too boring for you. Yeah, and see you later.